Welcome to Atlanta Tarot. This is the tarot forecast for Aries for the month of February 2021. Welcome, Aries. Hang on, this is just not right. Sorry. Let's go. Aries. Why have these three popped out? Energy around for Aries in February 2021 is strong, independent, female energy. Can be male energy as well. Remember, we can swap gender fluid here. So it's the completion of kinds, Aries, of really a lot of dedication and hard work to a project or just to yourself in general. Just improving yourself. Maybe it's the New Year's new and improved look you've been kind of going for. So it seems to be holding up well with this card. Very earthed, very much on your path, but really getting to a point where you're quite pleased with whatever you've been working on, in other words. So let's look. Where you are right now, Aries, is the Emperor. So the Emperor is actually your major arcana card. So when you have a major arcana card, Aries, it talks about, it's a big revelation. It's all about control, strategy, discipline. So that goes really well with that. And because this is your card, he's a fickle type of a character. Because if we apply the positive sides of him, we can really get where we want to go. Got heaps of energy to do it, lots of mind, power, control, lots of strategies, and that's the Emperor. It's the Father card as well, so it's sort of quite a masculine card. So, but then on the flip side, he can be quite aggressive and controlling. So whatever's going on for you at the moment, Aries, just remember, just rein in the negatives and exploit the positives, if you get the drift. So here you are right now with him where you are right now. So in a position of power and control and strategy. Discipline as well. Let's see how you got there, though. This will be interesting. The Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is an extremely, would you say it? It's a card where we've really taken on a bit too much. So perhaps too, and Aries as a fire sign, and this Wands is fire. It probably has occurred to you with whatever you were doing the last couple of months of 2020. It was just had too many plates spinning at once, and you sort of came to a bit of a brick wall in a way where it was like you were just exhausted because you didn't have any more energy to do one more thing. So you've employed, so I think this year you're going to go more with your control and strategy and disciplines, so you don't sort of take on too much, because then burnout. This is literally this Ten of Wands. The crossing card is burnout, so just watch that as well and know when enough is enough. But for fire signs, that's sometimes a bit improbable because they just go till they burn out. But nice card to just reflect on. Yeah, just do things, but keep them within the range and realms of reality. Don't go over the top, as fire signs tend to go. Let's see the background, and we have the Lovers. So, okay, the Lovers card, very interesting, another big card. So this is, we're talking about sort of December, January time. Now, Lovers is a really interesting card because it poses a question and a decision to be made. And as it says, the Lovers, so it's all about, I'm getting relationship as well. So the Lovers sort of get you to ask yourself, if you've broken up with someone, or if there's someone on the horizon, or if you're in something, you have to ask yourself the question, What does love actually mean to me? Is it a power struggle? All these sort of things that we find ourselves doing in relationships anyway. But when this card comes along, it really asks you to ask yourself what it means to you, and then apply it to how you're behaving in a relationship, or how you're going to behave when the next one comes along. Quite an interesting perspective, and I think we all need to ask ourselves that. So quite interesting coming into 2021. So things are on the things are on the move, I think, 2021 for Aries. Let's have a see at and a bit of a look at recent influences. And in comes the Knight of Cups. Tally ho. So this brings me more to the conclusion that we're talking mainly and prospectively about relationships. So this is an offer from a younger or sort of immature man, excuse me, not meaning that in a derogatory sense or a negative sense, but he has a lot to learn about love. He's very idealistic. He is your flowers person. He is your person that sort of overwhelms you with the romance, and then most modern day females would go, hang on a minute, what's going on here? So there's an offer coming through from this character, and it's a knight, so it's a real person around your environment proposing some sort of offer for you. So hence we have what we have here. It's lined up. What does love mean to you? Stay in control and discipline about it. Don't burn yourself out with it. If you've got other things on the go as well, just try and balance everything out. But he's an interesting character. And be really sort of asking yourself these important questions, Aries, before you go jumping in. Interesting. Okay, so now we'll get to what the lesson you're meant to be learning for this period of time, this February. It's Aquarius time, I forgot to mention, so it's very much air, the element of air, so things can change very quickly, just like the wind. So we have to be really sort of solid in a belief system, not to get carried away. So let's see the lesson. The Hierophant. So moral compass, Aries, and it's about how it feels to you personally. You can go and ask all your friends, what do you think? But what would they know? This is really a personal, it's almost a religious card, but I read it as a card of, spiritual more than particularly tagged onto a religion. It's about what feels right to you and what doesn't, and applying that to this so you don't waste your energy. Especially where he comes, because he comes in, he's like your infatuation, 6 weeks, and then it's dead in the water. But no disrespect to him, but that's the sum of it. And that's why the lesson is sort of saying, make sure that you feel right about it yourself. Does it fit with you? Okay, moving on to near future. The slow-moving energy of the Knight of Pentacles. So, I've got a bit of a double banger here, Aries. So, here, another character yet again, because it's a knight. But he's loyal, he's slow-moving. You probably wouldn't even know he exists, because he keeps everything very much to himself. He's very, very much a plodder in life, but very reliable plodder. So you've got the two, or is it maybe 2 in 1? But that's for you to figure out, because each person will interpret this how it sits with their life story, their timeline. You've got the reliable and you've got the romantic, so very interesting. It could be as well for some of the younger ones, or any age people, it could be 2 people coming in, because you do have a choice to make here. So which one's right, the methodical plodder or the romantic type? But slow moving energy anyway, coming into the sort of first week of February time, second, you know, like very end of January, taking things slow, going with that slower energy rather than just diving in recklessly and hoping for the best. Slow moving energy. Let's see what's happening that you're not realising. And things moving along really well on all sort of aspects for you. Six of Wands is all about things moving well. It's positive, it's fire, it's action. The things are going to be moving along well, but as long as you have to ask yourself these questions, that's already been posed by these cards today for you for February. But things motoring along really nicely for you, so don't spoil it, but just really ask yourself the question, what does this love mean to you? So it is coming out quite relationship-wise. Okay, let's see how others see you. The Queen of Cups. Very nice, very much the listener, very much the sort of, she's the sponge that soaks up all the stuff, the unsaid stuff going around. She's quite sort of, she's a really good listener, this woman. She doesn't give much away. So this is how people are seeing you, which I feel for an Aries person who are normally quite out there and, you know, upfront with everything, to be seen like this is quite the opposite to who you are. So yes, it could well be that sort of shadow side of yourself that people are seeing, where you're just sort of really just observing the whole situation before you make your mind up. So it's good. I like it, especially for the really out there fire signs like Aries. So very much taking it all in, saying very little but absorbing everything is the Queen of Cups, and being intuitive. Nice. What you're feeling positive about? Nine of Cups. So once again, the emotionally feeling really quite good about yourself, knowing what you want, asking yourself the question before you dive in. Is this what I want out of it, if it's a relationship indeed, or anything that's really close to your heart. But relationships obviously come to mind with this kind of a spread. So Nine of Cups is saying the wish card comes in. So, you know, fulfill your wish, but also remember too, there are pros and cons for everything. But nice card for you. So it's a good time, I'm feeling. And it's a good time for you to test your resolve in terms of being able to choose what's good, right for you, Aries. Let's see the final outcome. Yeah, and there we have the Four of Cups. So that feeling of, yeah, I've got everything, but I still need, something else is missing. Something's missing emotionally. Something's missing. But it's sort of almost like a cry to sort of say, well, change certain ways about yourself. Don't end up disappointed because you jumped in too quickly. Because we can often end up, it's the Four of Cups, you know, once the honeymoon's over, then we sort of really slot into the real day-to-day drudgery, don't we? So it's about avoiding that, and that can be an outcome, but we'll put another card on that in a minute just to see how you can avoid ending up like, oh, that was a good 6 weeks or 4 weeks, but now it seems to have just gone dead. The connection's just severed. So I think we'll only put one on that card because everything else is very important, I think, just to navigate. But we can see how your alternative outcome can be. Eight of Coins. So nice alternative outcome because you do have everything, but then again you have that propensity with the Eight of Coins to really sort of learn new lessons, but you know, with experience behind you, and do things new ways, like become an apprentice at a mature age, but you know, do things all your experiences have led to. So just doing things differently rather than doing things the same and ending up with that same sort of like once again we're back in that trough of, you know, disillusionment with relationships, when you can end up with 8 of coins, which is like, yay, I've mastered it, I've done it a bit differently, I've used all my experience to sort of change things that I don't like about the way I operate within a relationship. Oh, Aries, I hope that worked for you. I didn't realise how quick that time went. I'll quickly do your message because I've gone over a bit. Sorry. Probably thinking. Pure understanding. The stillness of the heart reflects heaven on earth. As truth unfolds with no strings attached, the heart becomes simple and pure. So just go for it, but change what you want to change. Don't do things the same way and expect a different result. Have a lovely February Aquarius time. Thank you for listening, Aries.